Welcome to yet another What I Eat in a Day. This morning I had both a sweet and savory breakfast. So first I prepared a yogurt bowl. I had thawed some frozen wild blueberries and pomegranate seeds overnight, and then in the morning I added yogurt. I sprinkled on some cinnamon, and every time I made yogurt bowls in the recent past I felt like they would be so good with raisins, but I always forgot to buy them. But now I finally had them and got to include them in my yogurt bowl. I had also baked my own whole spelt bread the day before, and it was a recipe in Swedish, but I just googled for spelt bread and there are a ton of recipes online, so I'm sure you can find something good. Spelt is an ancient grain and I prefer to bake with it because it has a different gluten structure than regular wheat and a lower FODMAP content. So some people, including me, may find that it's easier to digest than regular wheat. Whole grain spelt also contains more protein than whole grain wheat. But anyway, I topped it with some mashed avocado and sprinkled on herb salt and onion powder, which is such a good combination. I also had a cup of green tea. I had leftovers for lunch and it consisted of oat rice at the bottom. Then I had sauteed some cherry tomatoes, zucchini, kale, and butter beans that I added on top. Then I sprinkled on some vegan. I gotta be honest, I got a little bit unsure of the pronunciation because I've heard so many Americans say Parmesan, but then I heard somewhere that the correct English pronunciation is Parmesan or something. And in Swedish we say Parmesan. But yeah, I don't know, but you know what I mean. I have a recipe on my Instagram that I can link below. However, this time I only used sunflower seeds instead of a blend of different seeds, and I also added some olive oil to this one. Right after lunch, I took some of my plant milk pulp cookies from the freezer and defrosted them. I believe I had 2 of them or 3, I can't remember. I had found a pasta salad recipe on Pinterest that I felt like trying. I will link it below. And this recipe had like a hummus sauce with red lentils and green peas. So I first prepared the lentils, and for the salad I used those whole wheat macaronis that you can see on the screen. And I prepared the pasta before anything else and let it cool. And I don't have a good food processor, so I just chopped the red cabbage and grated a carrot instead of pulsing them in the food processor, because that's what the recipe said that you should do. You were only supposed to add a little bit of the peas to the salad and use the rest for the dressing, so that's what I did. Then I added chickpeas and capers. I love capers in pasta salads. By the way, I didn't add barberries, and there were also some optional chilies you were supposed to add, I think. Yeah, you can't really get barberries at the grocery store as far as I know, and I didn't feel like ordering them just to try this salad. To make the hummus sauce, I added the red lentils and green peas to a blender. Then I added the rest of the ingredients, so fresh basil, garlic, tahini, olive oil, salt. I also added capers of camera. This pasta salad was really good and high in protein, but there were a lot of steps and my counter was full of pots, sieves, measuring cups, my blender, and it made me feel kind of overwhelmed. I felt like there were so many steps. So yeah, I don't know if I'll make it again despite the fact that it was really tasty. Maybe if I really have the energy and motivation. But anyway, that's all I ate this day. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel.